look at the warm-up for today. Problem number 1 is negative 12 plus negative 12. The answer to that is not 0. That is not a 0 pair. They would have to be opposites, negative 12 and positive 12, to make that 0. What is the answer to that problem, Daniel? It is negative 24. There's a couple of different ways to think about it. I could put 12 negatives up here, and then another 12 negatives, and how many total negatives would I have? I would have 24 total negatives. Or I could start at negative 24 on the number line and move in the negative direction 12 places and land at negative 24. Or I could also remember the rule, if the signs are the same, I add them together and keep the sign. You've got to find one way to make that make sense to you. All right, the second problem is 8 plus 16 divided by 4 times negative 2 plus negative 4 squared. Order of operations says do what's in the parentheses first. So am I going to divide first or multiply first? You're going to divide first. They are equal in order of operations, so I would work left to right. 8 plus 16 divided by 4 is 4 times negative 2 plus negative 4 squared. And now I can do this multiplication. What is 4 times negative 2? Negative 8. And what is negative 4 squared? That's the next step. So negative 4 squared means negative 4 times negative 4. A negative times a negative is a positive. And now I have nothing but addition, so I work left to right. What do I know about positive 8 and negative 8? They make a 0 pair, so my answer is 16. All right, number 3. 9 squared minus 20 plus 8x. So, in the parentheses, is there any simplifying I can do? Can I combine 20 and 8x's? No. So, nothing to do with the parentheses, so now I go to exponents. What is 9 squared? 81. 81 minus 20 plus 8x. That means if I have 81, I need to take these things away from it. So that means I need to distribute this negative to both of these. I want to take both of them away. So that becomes 81 minus 20 minus 8x. I want to take both of those things away, so that means take away 20 and take away 8x's. What can I combine? What are the like terms here? 81 minus 20. And what do you get? 61 minus 8x. That is your final answer, 61 minus 8x. Any questions about why these both became negatives or subtracting? No? All right, 4. Negative 3 cubed plus 4 times 5x minus 1 plus negative 7 squared. All right, is there anything I can do inside this parentheses to simplify? No, so now I'm going to go to exponents. Negative 3 squared. What is negative 3 squared? That means negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Right here, I get positive 9. Positive 9 times negative 3, Malachi says, is negative 27. Do you all agree? Yes. Yes. So it's negative 27 plus 4 times 5x minus 1 plus negative 7 squared. What's the math? That means negative 7 times negative 7, and you get 49. All right, now I have multiplication right here. So what do I need to do? What property? Distributive property. Distribute. Negative 27 plus 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Uh-oh, I forgot my x here. Negative 20x minus 4 plus 49. So now I can combine like terms. All right, this is a negative 27. So I have negative 27, negative 4, and a positive 49. So I can write my negative 20x, nothing to combine with that. Negative 27 minus 4, negative 31. So that becomes negative 31 plus 49. The signs are different, so I'm going to subtract 49 minus 31. Gives me 18, and is it a positive 18 or a negative 18? Positive, so plus 18. Or you could say 18 minus 20x. Either one of those are the correct answer. Any questions about number 4? All right, let's look at number 5. Negative 4/12 plus 3/6. So the first thing is I need to find common denominators. There's two different ways you could do this. You could change this to where the denominator is a 6, or change this to where the denominator is a 12. Which way do we want to do it? Make this a 12. So that's negative 4/12 plus 3/6 equals how many 12ths? Times 2, so times 2, 6/12. The signs are different, so do I add or subtract? Subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2, so 2/12. Is it positive or negative? Which one has the greatest absolute value? 6/12, it's positive, so that's positive. Is that in simplest form? No. What does it simplify to? 1/6 is your answer. Questions about that one? All right, number 6. Negative 1/2 plus 6/8 plus 3/4. So they all three have a different denominator, so I need to find a common denominator. What do I want my common denominator to be? 8. Okay. So negative 1/2 is how many 8s? 1/2 equals how many 8s? Multiply that times 4. So times 4. 4 8s plus 6 8s plus 3/4 is how many 8s? So 3/4 equals how many 8s? Yep, times 2 times 2, so that's 6 8s. Do what's inside the parentheses first. That's a negative, that's a positive, so I subtract. 6 8s minus 4 8s is 2 8s, positive or negative? Positive. 2 8s plus 6 8s equals 8/8, and 8/8 equals 1 whole. Your answer to number 6 is 1. All right, any questions? I feel like we need some practice on problems like that for the next couple of days, because we are still not doing great on this, and we've been working on these kinds of problems since the beginning of the year. This was one of the first things we did. All right, let's look at Unit 6 probability. We've only got about 10 minutes to get through this. Number 1, Javier places 6 cards that are labeled 1 to 6 face down on the table and mixes them up. What is the likelihood that his arch enemy Luke will draw an odd numbered card? So half of those cards would be odd. So our answer is C, as likely as not. That's the same thing as even chance. It's not impossible. It's not unlikely. It's not certain. The only one that it could be is as likely as not. We have been calling that even chance. Number 2. On a math test in Mr. Hallman's class, 15 out of 25 students scored a 90 or higher. Which percent is closest to the probability that a student selected at random will not score a 90 or higher? So 15 out of 25 were higher, so 10 out of 25 are not. How do I turn 10 out of 25 into a grade? This is exactly what I would do on a test. Your last test had 21 questions. So if you got 11 out of 21 right, what did I do? What's the math? Divide. This is the division symbol. 10 divided by 25. 4/10. Move that decimal 2 places to the right, and your answer is A, 40%. 3, George's Car Wash offers a weekend special on cleaning cars, trucks, and SUVs. That is 3 different types of cars. You can also choose between wax, vacuuming, and interior cleaning. 3 services offered. How many different car washes can you make for a weekend special? So 3 different kinds of cars times 3 different services equals 9 total. Your answer is D. Number 4, Rachel made 16 out of 20 free throw shots. About how many of the next 30 would you expect her to miss? So first I had to decide if she made 16 out of 20, how many did she miss out of 20? She missed 4 out of 20. So out of 30, how many would you expect her to miss? So 30 times 4 is 120. 120 divided by 20 is 6. I would expect her to miss 6. Number 5, Camerino rolls a number cube and then chooses a card from a set of cards numbered 1 through 5. What is the probability that he will roll an odd number and choose an even numbered card? So, the first event, what is the probability he'll roll an odd number? So on a dice, how many are odd? 3 out of 6 or 1/2. If there are 5 cards, 1 through 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which ones are even? 2 and 4. So 2 out of 5 are even. And remember, you need to multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 2/10 is 2 in the 10th place. Move that 2 places, and that becomes 20%. Your answer is B, 20%. Six, if you flip a coin 6 times, about how many times would you expect it to land on heads or tails? Well, there's only 2 outcomes, heads or tails. So if I flip it 6 times, it's going to land on heads or tails 6 times. two number cubes are rolled and the results are added. What is the probability that the sum is equal to 7? So if I roll two number cubes, that is, there are 6 times 6 outcomes. So there are 36 outcomes. If I roll a 1, the next one would have to be a 6 to get a 7. If I rolled a 2, the next one would have to be a 5. If I rolled a 3, then I would have to roll a 4. If I rolled a 4 first, then I'd have to roll a 3. If I rolled a 5, then I'd have to roll a 2. And if I rolled a 6, then I'd have to roll a 1. So how many times could I get a 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times out of 36 could be a 7. And that simplifies to 1/6. You probably are going to have to show some work to figure a problem like that out. Number 8, a box contains blue, green, yellow, and red marbles. What is the probability of drawing, the probability of drawing a red marble is 17/20. What is the probability of not drawing a red marble? Well, if it's 17/20 that you will, then it is 3/20 that you won't. Why? Because 17/20 plus 3/20 equals what? 20/20. And we have to get back to that one whole number. So the answer is C. 9. In Congress, each of the 50 states is represented by 2 senators. So that means how many senators are there in the United States? 100. If you choose a senator randomly, what is the probability that you will choose a senator that represents Georgia, South Carolina, or Florida? So there are how many from Georgia? 2. 2 from South Carolina and 2 from Florida. So that is 6 out of 100. And that is 6/100th as a decimal. Move that decimal 2 places, and that becomes 6%. And the last one, the constructed response. Terrell's Rib Shack offers ribs in beef, pork, chicken, or tofu. You can also choose between hot, tangy, and sweet sauce. So determine the sample space using the fundamental counting principle. And that just means the size. The fundamental counting principle means we are going to multiply. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 choices times 3 different kinds of sauce. So 4 times 3 is 12. The sample size is 12. What is the probability of choosing a hot sauce with chicken? All right, so it says down here to create the tree diagram. I went ahead and did it before I started answering these. So here's my tree diagram. I have the beef, pork, chicken, or tofu. And I could choose beef with hot sauce, tangy or sweet. Pork with hot sauce, tangy or sweet. Chicken with hot sauce, tangy sauce, or sweet sauce. And the last one is tofu with hot, tangy, or sweet. So here is my sample space. And there are 12, just like I found in part A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So out of 12, how many of them would be hot sauce with chicken? So go to chicken. And how many are there with hot sauce? 1 out of 12, 1/12. What is the probability of choosing a sweet or tangy sauce with beef? Go to beef. And that is 2 out of 12 because there's 1 tangy and 1 sweet. 2 out of 12. And 2 out of 12 simplifies to what? 1/6. Yes, Eiley?
At the bottom,
Uh-huh.
it only has 1 minus.
You put a comma between B and A.
Oh. Okay. Anything else? Everyone see why this is 1/6? Yes. All right, any questions about this unit? No. Any questions about what is due by tomorrow? You all wrote down the new IXLs?